Stop. Take a breath. Whoop. Let the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, let the noise of the day fall away. Let the anxiety about tomorrow dissolve. Let the heaviness you have been carrying for others slide off your shoulders just for this moment. You are here because your spirit recognized a call. There is a resonance in the atmosphere right now, a specific frequency that goes beyond algorithm or coincidence. You have been sensing a shift. You have been feeling a weight, a pressure specifically regarding those you love, regarding your household, regarding your bloodline. There is a reason you stopped scrolling. There is a reason you are listening to this voice right now. It is because you are the watchman. You are the one standing at the gate. And deep down you know that the atmosphere in your home is about to change. Listen closely. We are not here to stir up fear. Fear is the frequency of the confused. We are here to establish order. We are here to ignite the divine authority that already lives inside of you. To draw a circle of peace around your family that nothing, absolutely nothing, can breach without permission. Settle in. Do not rush this. The world wants you to hurry, but the Spirit moves in the stillness. If you are driving, drive with focus, but let your spirit listen. If you are sitting uncross your legs, open your hands. We are about to walk through the corridors of your home in the Spirit and turn on the lights. Turn on. Oh, I want to speak to the burden you have been carrying. I see it. I see the nights where you wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning, and your mind immediately goes to them. You think of your children. You think of your spouse. You think of your parents. There is a specific kind of heaviness that comes from loving people deeply in a world that feels increasingly chaotic. You have felt a subtle encroachment. Maybe it hasn't been a loud explosion. Maybe it hasn't been a catastrophe. But you have noticed the drift. You have seen the light dim in their eyes. You have sensed a distraction, a fog, a misunderstanding that seems to hover over the dinner table. Arguments that start over nothing. Silence that feels heavy instead of peaceful. A feeling that you are all in the same house, but living in different worlds. You have been sensing that something is trying to siphon the joy from your sanctuary. You look at the ones you love, and you see their struggle. You see the pressure they are under at school, at work, in their social circles. And as the one with the eyes to see, as the sensitive one, you take that burden upon yourself. You try to fix it. You try to control it. You try to protect them with your worry. But let me tell you this. Worry is not protection. Worry is a misuse of your imagination. You have been exhausted. Bone-deep exhaustion. Not just because you're working hard, but because you are spiritually holding up the walls of your home. You feel like if you let go even for a second, things might fall apart. You feel like you are the only one seeing the cracks. There is a grief in you. A grief for the time that feels lost. A grief for the connections that feel strained. You have been asking silently in the quiet of your heart. When will the breakthrough come for them? When will they see what I see? When will this heavy blanket be lifted off my family? I want you to know that this exhaustion is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of your position. You are the anchor. But you were never meant to carry the weight of the ocean. You were only meant to hold the ship. The pain you feel is simply the signal. It is the dashboard light telling you that the method of protection you have been using, the method of striving, of worrying, of overthinking, is no longer sustainable. And that is good news, because it means you are ready for the upgrade. You are ready to stop fighting with your hands and start governing with your spirit. There is an unseen shift happening right now. Can you feel it? It is a subtle turning of the tide. For a long time, it felt like the waves were crashing against your house, eroding the foundation. But the wind is changing direction. What you are about to experience is a divine reversal within your household. This is not something you have to force. It is not something you have to manipulate. It is a clearing. The fog that has been clouding the minds of your loved ones is beginning to thin. We often blame people for their behavior, but we rarely see the smoke they are walking through. That smoke is lifting. Truth is surfacing. This is the season of the mask falling. Not in a way that destroys, but in a way that heals. The pretenses are dropping. The need to perform is dropping. You are going to notice a change in the atmosphere of your home. Where there was tension, there will be a sudden, inexplicable pause. Where there was confusion, a moment of clarity will strike. Things that were hidden, influences that were operating in the shadows, subtle habits, toxic connections outside the home. They are being exposed, not to cause chaos, but to be removed. Light is the ultimate disinfectant. The universe, the divine, is overriding the scripts that were written for your family's destruction. There is a divine override in progress. You may have thought that certain patterns were generational. You may have thought, this is just how my family is. We always struggle with this. We always fight like this. We always have bad luck. But the shift happening now is a breaking of that agreement. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one who stood in the gap. And because you stood even when you were tired, even when you were crying, the chain is snapping. The echo of the past is stopping at your doorstep. You will see it in their eyes first. A softness returning, a clarity returning. The aggression will melt into weariness, and the weariness will melt into rest. The rebellion will lose its fuel. The distance will close. This is not magic. This is the law of resonance. Because you have raised your vibration, because you have sought the higher ground, you have become a tuning fork. And slowly, inevitably, your environment must attune to you. The chaos cannot survive in the presence of your cultivated peace. The darkness cannot comprehend the light you are holding. It has no choice but to flee. Now we must reframe the past. We must look at the delays and the struggles through the lens of wisdom, not the lens of victimization. You have wondered why it took so long. You have wondered why the restoration didn't happen sooner. Why did your family have to go through the valley? Understand this. The delay was not a denial. The delay was a fortification. If the blessing had come before the character was built, the blessing would have crushed them. If the peace had come before the lesson was learned, the peace would not have been valued. Everything your family has endured, every trial, every silence, every separation, was preparation. It was carving out a capacity for depth. You wanted them to have an easy life, but the divine wanted them to have a meaningful life. And meaning is often forged in the fire. You are seeing a maturation process. What looked like a setback was actually a setup for a stronger foundation. The roots had to go down deep into the dark soil before the branches could reach high. Your family is not broken. They are under construction. And the construction site is often messy. See the divine reversal here. The very things that were meant to tear your family apart, the stressors, the external pressures, are being used to weld you together. What the enemy intended for division, the divine is using for cohesion. They are learning resilience. They are learning who they can trust. And they are realizing slowly that the one they can trust is you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are consistent. Your role in this has been one of immense restraint. It takes more strength to be silent than to shout. It takes more power to hold space than to force an outcome. You have been growing in inner authority. You are no longer the panic-stricken child. You are the elder at the gate. You are the matriarch, the patriarch, the spiritual head, regardless of your title. You are the one who knows, and this knowing, this deep, grounded confidence, is the greatest weapon against evil. Evil feeds on reaction. Evil feeds on drama. When you stop reacting, you starve the negativity. When you stand in your maturity looking at the storm with a calm eye, the storm loses its power over you. You have moved from being a victim of the atmosphere to being the creator of the atmosphere. So, how do we steward this shift? How do we align with this new season of protection and peace? Listen carefully, for this is your instruction. Your first duty is to your own peace. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot protect a home if your own internal walls are breached. The enemy does not need to enter the house if he can get into your head. So you must guard your mind. You must curate your thoughts. When the old fear rises up, when the old narrative says, "What if?" you must shut the door gently but firmly. Do not partner with the chaos. When you see a family member acting out of their shadow, acting out of their pain, do not join them there. Observe, but do not absorb. Stand on the bank of the river and watch the debris float by. Do not jump into the water and let it sweep you away. Your stability is their lifeline. If you jump in, you both drown. If you stay on the bank, you can pull them out. Establish boundaries as acts of love. A boundary is not a wall to keep people out. It is a gate to keep the sanctuary holy. You are allowed to say no to drama. You are allowed to walk away from circular arguments. You are allowed to declare your home a no-conflict zone after a certain hour. This is not controlling. This is shepherding. And remember the power of the spoken word. Speak life over your home, not just in prayer but in conversation. Change the vocabulary of your household. Instead of talking about how hard things are, talk about what you are building. Instead of talking about the sickness, talk about the healing. Words are containers for power. Fill your home with words of affirmation, gratitude, and vision. Do not isolate yourself, but be selective. Share your heart only with those who can handle the weight of your vision. Protect the privacy of your family's process. Do not expose their struggles to the world for validation. Cover them. Even when they are wrong, cover them. Deal with it inside the tent. This builds trust. This builds loyalty. You are the steward of the flame. Keep it burning. Not a wildfire that consumes, but a hearth fire that warms. A light that guides them home when the world gets too dark. Now I want you to physically relax your body. We are going to seal this message. We are going to set a spiritual perimeter around you, your loved ones, your home, and your lineage. You do not need to repeat these words aloud. Simply let them wash over you. Let your spirit say yes. Let your spirit say amen. Creator of all things, source of all light, we stand here now in the authority of the present moment. We bring this family, this specific household, into the center of the sanctuary. We declare a divine reversal over every plot, every plan, and every assignment sent against this bloodline. We command the shadows to recede. We command the confusion to lift. We command the anxiety to dissolve into the sea of nothingness. I call forth the spirit of peace to fill every room of your home, from the front door to the back, from the foundation to the roof. Let the walls vibrate with safety. Let the windows reflect only light. Let the air be crisp and clear. We cover the minds of your children. We cover the minds of your spouse, We cover the minds of your parents. We place a shield over their dreams. May they sleep deep, restorative sleep. May they wake up with clarity, purpose, and a renewed sense of hope. We sever any tie, any cord, any attachment to negativity that has been dragging behind them. We cut the generational heavy chains. It stops here. It stops now. This family is set apart. This family is under the covering of the Most High. We declare that no weapon formed against this home shall prosper. Any tongue that rises against it in judgment is silenced by the evidence of your love. We ask for wisdom for you, the Watchman. Give you the eyes to see the trap before it is sprung. Give you the words that heal and the silence that comforts. Give you the strength to stand tall when the wind blows. Let clarity reign. Let love be the law of the house. Let laughter return to the hallways. Let the table be a place of gathering and grace. We seal this home in the frequency of divine protection. It is impenetrable. It is holy. It is yours. Take a deep breath in and let it out slow. The work is done in the spirit. Now you simply walk it out in the natural. You do not need to fight. You simply need to stand. Walk in peace. Walk in authority. Your family is held. You are held. It is so.